Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Make yourself valuable on your job. Now, y'all know I mostly talk about business because, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I think business, but the reality is most of us going to have to work a job. Indeed, even as entrepreneurs, and I've talked about this before, you might have to get a job. You might have to get something because I told you before I started really doing this full time, I had my business and I was making some money, but you still had other stuff. So I also had a full-time job. So, and one of the things I always did on the job, I always made myself viable. And that's with any job, whether I was working retail, working in the gym, working in the government, working for contractors. I've had a ton of stuff. Working at the gym, that's something. In fact, that's one of the things I got that made myself viable, actually work up to a sales manager position, because I didn't just go to the gym and just do my basic job and come home. But I would get to know customers. I would recommend stuff. I would get to know them. I would, in many ways, influence them in many ways. And then I always went a step beyond. I don't care what the job was. I always went a step beyond my basic abilities. I always tried to learn more. Sometimes I'll sit there and say, it could have been on anything. It was tell me about this, And I would learn it because, see, here's the thing. And indeed, let me just say this before I get into here's the thing. I always avoided jobs, had layoffs, stuff like that. In most cases. In most cases, there was one exception, but we won't talk about that today. And ironically, that didn't have anything to do with the job I was doing. That was some personal stuff, the one exception. We won't get into it. But, always would make myself more valuable. More valuable. You want to learn, you want to do as much as you can. You want to be able to say, you know what, I can take care of this or that. Because one of the things you have on many jobs is, people don't show up. Or there's an emergency, somebody doesn't show up. I mean, it could be whatever, or they need help on something. All of a sudden, they need help, you right there. See, you want to put yourself in a position where they have to have you around. And see, when you're in that position, that can lead to several other things. You could lead you to a management position. Because the more you know, a manager is expected to know a little bit of everything. The more you know, the better. For example, say I was to work. I wasn't doing all this for whatever reason. I was working in a grocery store. I would know immediately where everything is. Sometimes even on a day off, I'd probably just walk through. Any free time, I just familiarize myself with everything. I would look at what people were doing that didn't have anything to do with my job. I would do all these little things. Then when it would come up that maybe they need somebody to help out with something, or someone doesn't come to work, or indeed somebody gets fired real quick, you can say, hey, you know what? I can do that job. All of a sudden, the management is looking at you differently. Also, you could actually move up to be a manager. So that actually gives you more money. That actually puts more money in your pocket. I want you to think about that. See, the more you know, the more valuable you make yourself. Then you have the possibility of making more money. If you go into the office and say, hey, I'm doing this, this, and this, I need more money, you have a stronger chance of getting it. You have a stronger chance. And then you endear yourself to the upper management. And that's on a job. And here's something else. Let me hit y'all with something deeper. Because, I'm always talking about starting your own business. You learning the job. You learning little things. Like I mentioned, I've worked retail. People don't know when I was doing just little stuff on that retail thing, I was also paying attention to other stuff that had nothing to do with my particular position. I was paying attention to logistics. And I would just casually ask questions of the logistics manager. I would say, hey, how long does this usually take? Oh, what it got to go through? And I'll just be sitting there shooting a breeze, but I would learn it. I would learn other stuff. I I might be talking to like a corporate manager or something, and I would just casually say, "Oh, okay, what's this about? What y'all looking at?" Yeah, I would ask personal, little stuff. Because let me give y'all some advice. A lot of times, a person in a position of authority likes showing people that they're in authority and telling you stuff, and you just sit there and just ask a few questions and just sit back and listen. You know, don't be silly. Like some people, let me just say this real quick. Some people get on the job and they always want to be in conflict with everybody. No, Rob, I don't care what the job is. I sit there and just pay attention. They want to tell me something. I'm like, okay. You learn everything. But then, like I was saying, I was learning some stuff now, like right now. If I wanted to start a retail operation, like stores and everything, boom, I already know. I already got that knowledge because I was busy learning every little thing. So I could start something. I wouldn't even need I wouldn't need seed capital to start, to put it like that. But I know how to build something. Boom. So you could take the knowledge you got, not only making yourself better on a particular job, but also use it to create your own business. Boom. Boom. Indeed, there's so many people who do that. You find out a lot of business, they started out working for someone else, and instead of just treating it as a job, they treated it as a learning experience. But the thing is, they made themselves valuable. Like getting back to not even the business thing, but you put yourself in a position where you can ask for more money. You more likely keep your job in situations where, especially in places you can be fired at will. They'll let you slide for some things. Let me say it again. They'll let you slide for some things a little bit easier. Don't push it though. Don't push it. Whatever you do, don't push it. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. You want to do that because you want to put yourself in a position where you can get the maximum out of it. Think about it. You giving that job 8, 9, 10 hours of your day. You might as well get the maximum. You get everything you can out of it. Learn everything you can. Not only for money, but then something you might be able to use down the road. Yeah, because I would say, okay, I mentioned a retail job. There are several business ideas I got out of that. Like I said, I actually, before the COVID, in the back of my mind, thought of setting up something. Only thing is, I would need one of the things I wouldn't be as hands-on. I would find a manager. I know what to look for in a manager and let them build it. I'd be like, yeah, and plus they couldn't really get over on me because I already know. It's like, you don't need money for that. This is what you need. So anyway, you want to do that. So anyway, make yourself valuable on your job. So that's all I got for now. I'll get back with y'all. Let's go make that money.